What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for a video I wanted to do, but I actually changed how the concept of this video would be because I wanted to make it less about Chantal and more about Jamal. And a lot of this is, in my opinion, almost like the video thumbnail suggests, kind of a stolen valor-esque approach, where Chantal is projecting she's putting in all the work, she's doing all the effort, but she's not actually doing that. And how do we know that? Well, these images here from Perfectly Imperfect pretty much showcase this. So this is Chantal claiming to be 350.5 pounds. And I want to just show you a few years ago, Chantal at 399.4 pounds. I'm going to show this back and forth a couple times so you can get a perspective, but it seems to me, right, if we're to believe our eyes, there is no way that there is a 50-pound difference here between these two images. So how does Jamal come into all this? Because like I said, I don't want to completely focus on Chantal. Jamal is very, very refreshing. Okay, first of all, Jamal used to play football, so used to be a professional athlete, doesn't want to share too much of that with the audience, but nevertheless, it is there. Moreover, he will come out and say that this isn't the first time he's attempted to do a weight loss issue on YouTube, and that he's tried this, never really been successful to completely follow through, and it's fallen off for whatever reason. He actually shows that doing this is the definition of insanity, just over and over and over. So here is a current video of him. Now, the way he does his weigh-ins could not be more transparent. He actually puts the camera on the bathroom sink, films down, shows the actual scale so we can see the number of 545.9 pounds, and then also asks Siri what the date is. So there's no doubt how this is being done. He also measures himself, and it's interesting that he chooses to do that because he understands, the camera can be deceiving, but he wants to make sure it's clear how large he is. And he wants to make sure that everyone realizes he has a substantial journey in front of him. And he actually says, listen, it's time to lose this extra weight with a near 72-inch waist. Now, as I said, he was successful in the past, and he shows a little bit of this. He says he was down before 87 pounds, 412-pound difference from where he is today, and that's what he's using to motivate himself to do this again. But the difference is consistency. The difference is posting every single day. And he also accepts that this is going to be a challenge. He owns it, essentially. He says, listen, there's going to be days that I might just show 20 seconds on my weigh-in, because there's good days and there's bad days, but there still has to be accountability to each day. And so far, 16 days in, he's done just that. He says this is the heaviest he's ever been in his entire life, and he recognizes in his early 30s, if he doesn't make changes, changes are going to happen for him in the worst of ways. He's also kind of a funny guy, too. He's done some really cool skits, and he set a realistic goal for himself. The goal is actually without surgery. He wants to do this on his own. Got himself there, wants to get himself back. 195 pounds. So obviously that's a very, very tall task. But he says he's going to try a couple different approaches. Fasting, OMAD, 1 meal a day. I think this probably sounds familiar to you, given the subject initially covered here. But I will say, he's came out and been realistic with his approach. So day one, you can actually see Siri didn't give him a date. He lost 9 pounds in a day. And he did this through a dry fast, which he did not recommend anyone do, but he felt comfortable given his size doing. And he actually even offers that, listen, even though I've lost 9 pounds, you're not going to have any visible difference until 50 pounds come off, if not more. So don't expect to see any results at such a low number. Again, compare that to who we're used to talking about saying the differences come after just 10 or 15 pounds. Now, this is the soft dry fast, if you will, which was basically just a combination of salt and potassium, not drinking food, water, anything. And he did this because his back has been hurting him, and he knows with his back hurting, it's going to limit what he can do, going to the gym, going for walks. So he needs to combat that. And what he's done is actually put himself in a position just to walk through his home, just to clean his home. And he admits, listen, for a guy his size, as we all know, just doing these household chores is going to be exercise in and of itself because he's having to move that amount of weight. So Not particularly that I wanted to completely come on and cover, but I did want to use this as a reference point to, again, someone that is unapologetically coming online, not having any excuse for what's happened, had an athletic background, and just merely put themselves in a position to be in poor health, in poor shape, and gain a lot of weight. And recognize that this is no one's fault but their own, and no one is going to help them out of it but themselves. And has found the best way to do it is to use social media, use YouTube as a tool to hold themselves accountable, to share their journey. Every single day, he's posted the current weight against the initial weight with pictures. You know, it takes a lot of swallowing one's pride. It takes a lot of confidence to even put yourself out here this way. But it takes even more to know that you're doing it to have others look at you and hold you accountable for your actions. Because it's easy to sit there and say, you know, this is what I want to set out to do. It's quite another to sit there and actually follow through. And in watching some of his videos, he's very much held true. Some of the videos are only just, here's my weigh in, have a good rest of your night, this is the current weight that I'm at versus my starting weight. I'm exhausted. But it was so refreshing to look at someone say, you know, what have I done to myself? What have I kind of let happen? How did I lose my way? He actually posted some videos of him just a couple years ago, around 190 pounds, with very well defined figure, very muscular. To the point that, honestly, if you looked at those images versus now, and you didn't have any context, you might not even know it's the same person. And that's what he's striving to get back to. A realistic approach of, this is not going to be done overnight, because it didn't start overnight. This is going to start with me with a lot of different plans and steps. But ultimately, this is something I have to put in the work to do, and I want to share the work with you to properly inspire others. And to see him go through the same exact systems that the other person has and actually see results. To actually have someone come on and say, you know what, this is on me. It was really, really refreshing. And honestly, his success, to me, is directly connected to that. He's not wanting to take the easy out. He's not wanting to sit there and blame everyone else. He's not wanting to sit there and really even have more of a relationship with his viewer other than, here's my journey, here's you watching, here's your support. He actually thanks his subscribers. He counts them every single video. That's how important it is for him to grow a community, because he knows, in part, I'm sure, his success is tied to the people that are watching him, the people that are going to be there, that are going to leave comments, that are going to uplift him, that are going to help him through the tough times, but also champion him on the accomplishments. So I would really encourage you. I'll put a link down in the pinned comment. You don't have to say that I recommended it, but I just wanted to offer to you. If you wanted to see something that is a stark contrast from what we're used to seeing, not just in the fact of someone being true to themselves, honest with themselves, and accountable, this is the place to go. And I certainly hope that in a month or two, I can make a follow-up video and show incredible change from where he is today to where he started from to where he's going to go. And to that point, I'm not even going to bog this video down with the top comments from the last video, because he doesn't deserve that. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. Be back as soon as I can with more content.